Hello friends, I am Sorodip. So before going into the next lectures, I thought I should show you some of the terminologies and the use case of those. Because if you know these terminologies beforehand, it will be very easy for you to grasp those concepts in the next lectures. So this will be only the basic overview friends, but it will give you a very good concepts and understanding how a ChatGPT or a LLM works. So let's dive into it. So let's say we are the user. Okay, so whoever is typing or giving using the chat gpt, we are the user or the actor. Then what we will do, we will write something, right? Like who is the prime minister of India, and then we will use the chat gpt. So what it will do, whatever we are typing in the chat gpt, it will go to a backend system, right? So it will go in the backend system. So this is the backend. It could be in Python or Node.js. Most probably it will be in Python, since we are using AI concepts. So Python is the most used language for that. And then what is the another concept we need here, friend? We need an LLM. So the LLM can be anything. It could be a ChatGPT or a GPT. It could be a Gemini. It could be Claude. It could be DipsCode. It could be anything. Let's say it's a generic LLM. So what is LLM, friends? So it's a large language model. Basically, it has been trained with many huge amount of data. Okay, so that is an LLM. We will know all of those things in the LLM module. So for example, if I go to a ChatGPT console, so this is a ChatGPT console, friend. Let's say if we ask who is the PM of India, so I have typed who is the PM of India, and the ChatGPT has given me the answer. The current Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. Okay, and he has been in office since May 26, 2014. So this is the question, right, friend, which we have asked. So friend, this is the question that we have asked. So this is known as prompt. In the term of GenAI, whatever the question that you are asking, this is known as prompt. Okay, so whatever the question that you are asking, this is known as prompt. And here, what is the prompt, friend? For us, this is who is the PM of India. Now what will happen? This question or the prompt will go to the backend system. Now backend, along with this prompt, will add some extra context to this. So what are these context? These are basically temperature. So temperature, friends, it's nothing. Based on the temperature value, the LLM will decide the answer. For example, if you ask who is the PM of India, it's a definite answer, right? It's Narendra Modi. If you ask 10%, the 10% will give you the same answer. But say if you ask some different question, let's say tell me about your country, India. So different person will have different answer. So that is the temperature. So if the answer is constant, that means the temperature is very low. If the answer varies from person to person or LLM to LLM or every question to question, so that is the temperature. The more the temperature, the more the randomness in the answer. Then we need to add the model, because every LLM have some different model. For example, if we are using GPT, there is GPT 3.5, GPT 4, GPT 5. There are different models, right? Based on the model, we will get the response. If you use a higher model or a strong model, it will give us a very prompt answer. But if you use an old or low model, so it will give us the answer, but that answer will be not that much of efficient. So we need to specify the model. Then we need to also tell the max tokens. So what is the max tokens, friend? I will tell you a little bit later. And along with that, we need to add this prompt also, right? So there are different types of prompt, friend. System prompt, user prompt, assistant prompt. I will tell all about this in the prompt engineering section. But for now, understand whatever the prompt the user has given, that is known as the user prompt. So how it will be there, friend? So it will be like this. It will be like the role. So the backend will assign the role. So that role is user. So there are different roles, friend. As I told, user, system, and assistant. Whatever the user have asked the question or given the prompt, that is the user role. And then content, who is the PM of India. So this is the prompt, friend, that will be considered here. And along with that, there will be another concept, that is max tokens. So what is this max tokens? So let me tell you. So whenever this prompt will go to the LLM, now what it will do, the backend will send this whole context or the prompt to the LLM. Now the backend will pass this whole thing to the LLM. This whole thing now the backend will send to the LLM. Okay. Now what LLM will do to the LLM, this is the content, let's say, who is the PM of India. LLM will not understand this whole word. So it will break that word. So the LLM will break that word, and the breaking of word is known as tokens. Let's say this is the question or the prompt what we have given. But what LLM will do, let's say the LLM will break it to token. So what is token? Let's say token is an array of word. Okay. So let's say how it will be broken. Let's say who is one word, is another word, the another word, PM another word, of another word, India another word. Okay. So let's say it will break the word into more simple word. Okay. But one thing, let me tell you friend, this is not the way it works. We will see about this in the token section. But for your understanding, the prompt will be break into token. Okay. So this is what it will go to the LLM. Now, who will call this LLM? So basically, this will be called from the back end with the help of some driver. Either it could be of ChatGPT SDK, or it could be from Gemini SDK. Okay, we have to use any SDK provided by the LLM, and using that SDK, we need to call that LLM with these concepts: temperature, model, prompt, max tokens. But along with this, there are many other things that we need to configure. But for now, understand it, we need to pass this type of concepts to the LLM. Now, these are known as tokens. So whenever the word is broken into subwords or small piece of individual word, that is known as token. So in the same way, the LLM will give us the response, right? So what is the response the LLM will give us that we have seen? Let's say PM of India is Narendra Modi. This is the response generated by the LLM, but it will not send the text as whole. As I told, it will send the response in a token itself. So what will happen? This will become, so this is the response that LLM generates, and it will send the response in the way of token itself. So whatever the LLM will send, it will send us these tokens. Now see, what does this max tokens mean? So max token will limit the response of token. So let's say here, if we consider every word as one token, then how many tokens are here, friend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 tokens, friend. But if I told max tokens is 5, then it might omit the last word, because that is the 6th token, right, friend? It will take up to 5 token and will send us the response. Another thing, friend, let me tell you. Let's say if I ask here the question, when he was born. So I have asked when he was born, but if you see the response, friend, it tells Narendra Modi was born on 17 September 1950. So how it's knowing that he represents PM of India, that is Mr. Narendra Modi? It can be anything, right? He can be any person. So how it's happening, friend? How it's understanding that he represents Narendra Modi or the PM of India? So what's happening inside, friend? Every time we are sending a new chat or a new prompt, it's already adding the previous prompt to its context. This is known as history, chat history. So then what is happening, friend, here? So basically, every time we give a new prompt, it's going to add in a chat history. Basically, it's an array where it's going to store, and it's also going to store the response that the LLM has given us. For example, friend, here, what is the first prompt we have given? Who is the PM of India, right? Let's say it added in the array. Also, whatever the response it's getting, it's also getting added in the array. Let's say it's Narendra Modi. Then, whenever we are asking the next question, that is the next prompt, let's say what is his age? So this is the question, it's getting added in the same chat history. Now in the LLM, it's going this whole thing. Who is the PM of India? It's Narendra Modi. And what is his age? So now the LLM knows what does his represent. So here his represents Narendra Modi. Based on this, LLM will give us the response. So this concept is known as the chat history. So this also, friend, we need to maintain in our backend. So that is chat history. Let me add it here. So these are the few concepts, friend, that you need to know. But there are many other concepts also. For example, context window, tokenization, there is some optimization way, cost calculation, all of this. But this is the core concept, friend. This will help you to understand what is happening in the LLM, and we will see every concept in details in the next videos. Thank you, friends. Hope you understand this video. We will meet in our next lecture. Happy learning.